I'm going to tell you something that really bothers me, really pisses me off to no end, okay, is people who teach stuff exactly like that. The idea that you're going to be face to face with an attack or draw a weapon and do a pattern on this opponent drives me crazy. It absolutely drives me crazy, to see this kind of stuff. And I'm trying to get the understanding out there, the information out there to you that is more appropriate for you, for your ability to survive against a person who possibly is a psychopath, not a person who's angry and has road rage. You don't have to probably deal with that person, okay? And even if you do, then they are behaving like a psychopath anyway, right? So you should be able to leave almost any fight situation, okay? Any situation that is mutual combat, you should be able to avoid that. Maybe you don't want to, maybe you feel like you shouldn't, but you should be able to. You completely should be able to leave that environment and just go home, okay? Just go. It doesn't matter if you don't have a family to go home to. Why do you want to go through the struggle that's going to evolve out of that unless you've been in those situations, you're not even aware of what's going to happen after that. And that's kind of what people don't tell you who do these kind of videos, because they've probably never done it. They've never been in a violent encounter. They've never been in a situation where they weren't able to leave. They've only been in situations where they knew they were dominant and that you could pick on somebody that's probably not able to defend themselves. I'm going to tell you, even in that situation, there's a good chance you could run into the wrong fellow, the wrong type of person, the wrong individual, male, female, what have you. Okay, so what I want to teach you is how to deal with real life situations. I really get tired of seeing these videos presented with martial artists who are teaching a curriculum, but they're teaching it as self-defense. And it's really not the same thing, because that curriculum doesn't involve anything that has to do with self-defense. Okay? It's not going to work that way. It's not going to play out that way. I cannot tell you how many times my own instructors have said, hey, it's not going to play out this way in a fight, but I'm going to teach you this training method here. Then the person learning from that man turns around and says, this is how you fight. This is combat. It's not the same thing, bro. It's really not. So what I want to do for you, and what I am currently working on right now, is a video program that will help you remotely learn those things that I have learned throughout my life and my experience having to deal with violence, okay? And then you can use my experience, you can listen to what I have to say, you can see what I demonstrate on the video, and give yourself a better chance to survive that situation. I use a term in one of my books, what does the training provide? It gives you a little luck, if you want to call it that. Having the skill, timing, and rhythm, footwork, all that's very important. But you also have to have the will and the mindset and understand what situation you're entering into. It's not a fight. It shouldn't be an argument that becomes physical. You should avoid those situations. You could always walk away from that. But that situation where the opponent presents and is threatening, not verbally, but already is in the act of threatening, you need to have the radar. You need to have the ability to see that coming, and then how to respond to that correctly, as opposed to presenting yourself in a fight posture and then you think the guy's going to skedaddle or something. No, So I'm working on a video program for you guys right now that is going to teach you how to handle the initial phases of that violent conflagration, and then give you the understanding of just how exactly you want to exit that situation. And that's the important thing that many people aren't teaching. And I think the reality-based people, to an extent, have that right. But what they have wrong is the how-to, because they're fighting. And the traditional martial artists have something right, and that's the structure part and creating the attributes and all those things. But what they have wrong is they are competing. When they do spar, it's a competition. They're not prepared for violence. And what you have to do is understand that. You have to have a little bit of time with the bad guy. You know, you have to have a little bit of that in you in order to understand it. You have to maybe have a little time in the head of a psychopath to be able to deal with that person. And really for that person to see you and say, I don't want any part of this person. They see me. They see me. And you will then avoid that confrontation. If, in many cases, I've used it myself in many cases just to completely avoid a violent situation. Just how I use my body language and how my facial expression is, because the people, they see that a tiger recognizes another predator. They don't want to eat another. A tiger doesn't want to eat a lion. It wants to eat a deer. And a lion doesn't want to eat a tiger. It wants to eat an antelope, whatever, right? So don't present yourself as Johnny on the spot. I'm a pugilist. You're not gonna. That's not how to handle that person. They're gonna see right through that. So what am I saying? I'm creating a video set for you guys that's gonna be lights out, giving you the understanding of the application of what you learned. You already learned it, most of you, but how do you apply that, man? That's what I'm working on, and that's what I want to hand over to you. And I need your help. I really need you, right? It's nothing. I can make 1,000 videos right here and keep them myself. That's not going to do any good. I need to produce them. I need to get them out to you, and I need your support.